Welcome to the 14th episode of ML Backstage. My name is Mars Luna.
And I'm Ethan.
And we're introducing this podcast straight from the 6th dimension. This is a music commentary podcast hosted by just Kainalu Kamai and Joshua Luna today. Holo's off the grid for one more month, but he'll be back in the summer. Anyway, I'm excited to have the head of the Fan Appreciation Tour, Sergio Jordan, here with us. Earthlings, grab your popcorn and let's get started. Back to planet Earth we go!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 14 of the ML Backstage podcast. I am Joshua Luna, and I'm here with Kainalu Kamai today, and we have a special guest that I'm about to get to in a little bit. Holokahiki Toves, as I mentioned in the last episode, he was already not supposed to be here this month, but hopefully he'll be here next month into the summer. But first, Kainalu, how's everything been, bro?
Good. A little bit of some changes here and there, but the usual.
Yeah, because normally you would say the usual, but I do notice that you are in a little bit different background today. So
yes. So unfortunately, we had to step down from our business location, which is technically up the road. My mom needed to save money on our business, so no more store space, but we're doing everything online for now.
But hopefully, hopefully you get it back though. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, we'll see.
True. And
we'll
I can
see.
have my own room again.
And shout out to 3 Kai Clothing Company though. We filmed 2 Mars Luna music videos in that space, so
I know, made it work.
and nothing but good memories. As far as for me, everything's good. Still undergoing life transition, but in the meantime, my mom came through here. She's here to spend some vacation time and to spend her birthday and early Mother's Day here. So shout out to moms one time, and yeah, just about getting ready to kick off this podcast. And today I'm really excited about this particular episode because we do have a special guest today. Mars Luna had a show last week, Friday, and he played a show with this dude right here. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce Sergio Jamerison, also better known as Sergio Jordan. What's up, bro?
What
Glad
up,
to have
man?
you on.
I'm good. Thank you for having me. I'm excited. I'm stoked to be here. What up, Kai?
Hey.
Let's get it.
All right. So, since you're here, I want to know a little bit more about your journey as a whole and how do you know me? How do you know Mars Luna and all that stuff? So take me from the beginning of your creative journey to now and, everything in between.
We got that much time, man? Like, hold up, man. Okay.
You can condense it or do whatever you want, bro.
The beginning of my journey, man, like I've been doing music since I was like 13, 14 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm 37, believe it or not.
Damn.
Yeah.
Still young.
Still young. I still feel young. People always tell me, man, do you look like you're 19? I'm like, dude, it's because I smile through it all. So I guess my musical journey began when I was a kid, man. Like I was just a fan of the music, man. Like, growing up watching like the greats and like Michael Jackson and all that stuff like that. All those different. That's when MTV actually played videos. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Yeah.
I put my hands up on your hip. I used to watch that all the time. I was like, man, dude, I'm like, okay. Like, I need to do this in my life. So that's the beginning stages for Serge. I always had different rap names growing through all the years, and I just kept developing my pen. It was high-headed, man. I was high-headed. Like in the beginning, I would just say anything, just to get a reaction out of people. Because I just wanted to be the best. You know what I mean? That's the beginning stages for me. Versus now, it's like, okay, how about I say something meaningful?
Mm-hmm. Right.
In the beginning, I was just more hot-headed and stuff like that. So condensed journey, just straight shot, straight shot answer.
The Cliff Notes version, bro. The Cliff Notes version.
The Cliff Notes version, like hot-headed versus this guy's got a serious message that he's gonna put out,
and much more mellowed out now.
Yes. I like this version of me. It took me 37 years. I mean, not 37, but almost. It took me a while to meet this version of myself.
Mm-hmm. Right, that's what's up, bro. And how do you know me, and how do you know Mars Luna? What is the connection between Mars Luna and Serge Jordan?
Was it open? Was it the open mic, or was it the CM over there at the space? What was that space called? This at a concert. This at some concert.
I think you're right. I do remember. I think it was an open mic. So I was a feature for an open mic one time. This was like 5 years ago, or something like that.
When I first moved here.
And then I was featuring with my homegirl, and I think you DM'd me because I don't know how you found it, but like I got a DM from you saying like, hey, what time is this open mic? And then and I was like, I think it was like 7 or 8 or something like that. And I didn't really expect anything from it. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, oh, this is just a random person, blah, blah, whatever. And then and I was like, oh shoot. And then I saw you were like the first person on that open mic. And then you were saying like, oh, my name's Serge Jordan, yada, 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 whatever. And you did your thing. And then I remember you saying like, I wish I could stay, but I got to play ball and I'm out. Or something.
I used to do a lot of shows like that. Because I sat there and waited through a lot of those open mics, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like doing them, like sometimes like, okay, I got to go on last, or I gotta go in the middle, and like I don't want to go last. So how about I start going first? Because I work a lot. Mm-hmm. So like I need to preserve my energy. So I want to pursue my career, and let me go out and perform. And that's how I started that. Let me get on the mic real quick. Right, hi, I'm Sergio Jordan. Gotta go.
Yeah. And you gotta do what you gotta do.
I didn't like that in overall. Yeah, and I didn't like that.
Mm-hmm. Right. But I think that was. Now that I think about it, was actually the first memory that I have of you. And then we actually met in person like a couple years later at the show that you said, where all our friends were playing at and that kind of stuff. And you kind of just got, more familiar with each other over time. And I think Rocket Science was when like the actual relationship started.
Yeah.
Like that was like, okay, like I remember this dude now, like this dude is in for a while, for the long run. And then but before we get into 2020, because that was kind of like the time frame from 2007 to 2020. We just did a show together last week Friday for your fan appreciation tour at Recycle Propaganda in the heart of the Arts District here in downtown Las Vegas. So I just want to ask you, what is your reasoning and your motivation behind creating this tour?
First off, it was a vibe. If you wasn't there,
it was a
vibe. It created its own vibe, and that's the inspiration behind the tour. I wanted it to just be its own thing. Like it's like when what's that guy? Mark Zuckerberg was first making Facebook. We're like, I don't know what it is. I don't want to just put ads on it. It's just still, it's still just growing. So that's fan appreciation tour. Let's just book a show and believe that we are the stars that we are, and see if we can get some people to perform in front of, and just let it just happen. Let everything happen natural and document it all. That's the inspiration in the Cliff Note version of that. Like okay.
Yeah. No, that's tight. Like I respect it, because a lot of like the casual average person views a tour as like this, like big city, like big stage thing or whatever. Yeah. But it's like, they don't really take it to consideration from like the smaller artist perspective, where like the grind behind it and like all the planning that goes into whatever, because you have two shows lined up right now, right? Which was the Vegas show and the one in Utah, with potential dates down the line. No, like I mean, you mentioned you were 37, and like the fact that you're still doing it is respectable and admirable. You know what I'm saying? Because like for me, I kind of have the opposite viewpoint of like because like I'm a homebody, so it's like I'm just chilling most of the time. So it's just kind of
same me.
It's just more like I like I guess more of a general note. Like one of my biggest pet peeves is people who are delusional, right? I try to stay as grounded as I possibly can because I know like how inflated my ego can be. But like I do realize that you do need to be you need to have a little bit of peacock in you. You need to be a little delusional in order for in order for things to really pop off. You know,
gotta be borderline crazy, man. And
yeah,
or nobody else is gonna believe in it, man.
Right, exactly. So that's one of the things I realized for myself. It's like, damn, like, okay, I can be grounded, but I realize I gotta be like, nah, I'm a dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really gotta believe that. So no, so that's cool. Like I like like I said, it's respectable and admirable.
Yeah, is that, and then it was also like back to to bounce back to the open mic thing. Like, okay, here's me doing an open mic. I'm doing it only for 5 minutes, and you really don't get to know me in 5 minutes.
Yep.
So I'm like most people think about tour, like, oh, he's going on tour. I'm like, is he signed? I'm like, no, I'm going on tour to go campaign my music. It's a different way to tour. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm touring because I believe in it, first of all. And I'm touring because I want to get out and know people that I don't know and try to get them to hang out with me and learn about my music, and as I learn about them.
Right. Yeah, bro. For sure. That's it's all about perspective, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. And the next then I'm going to talk about the next couple things that we were involved with together. So, why don't you talk about the Britney videos and the Full Circle music videos? Those are fun times.
Those are fun times. Those are submitted histories.
Yeah. Because going back to like the rocket science time in early 2020, I believe we filmed the Britney video in I want to say March 2020. Right before the pandemic.
Right before the pandemic, yeah, you're right. It was right during the pandemic, actually, like right there in the cusp, right there in the cusp of the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? Like he was like, okay, we gotta start wearing masks and stuff like that. Like,
right.
Did nobody speak at like really? I mean, like we had when everybody went their separate ways after that, like because of the COVID, everybody was stuck in the house. Britney was that's a fun record, man. And it's a fun fact. I haven't listened to that record in a while, man, because I record so much. At that time, I just wanted that record to be filmed so bad. I was like, let's just do it. I'm like, okay, how do I get Mars? How do I get somebody here? I'm like, I've been wanting to do a record with you for a long time. So that was another backstory of it too. So I was like, hey, Mars. So that's why they kept seeing me DM you and stuff like that. And like, okay, I'm like, let me get this man attention. I'm like, dude, let me see what I can offer. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all I got is my music. You know what I'm saying? So let me see if we could vibe that way. And that's kind of how the collab of Britney came along. And it's like, okay, we get these people part of this kind of movie style setting of a video shoot, and it's actually a fun video to watch. I just haven't watched it in a minute, but made me want to watch it. Yeah.
No, that was fun.
Because I was learning, man. We was learning. That was the beginning edits. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't really perfect at edits at the time, but we were perfect at filming.
Right. That's how Kainalu and I do our thing. We kind of just improvise and kind of figure stuff out on the fly. Yeah. Just kind of observe the environment around us, So like, were you gonna say something, Nalu?
Oh yeah, make like it happens.
Make like it happens.
Yep.
I like that. I like it. Yeah.
And the latest one was Full Circle, which is kind of a central theme with pretty much all of our lives.
Everything,
here.
Everything, right? Yeah, it kind of that kind of I think we just nailed that out the park. Now that I was saying, like the producer, it was already when I got the beat, it was already named Full Circle.
Oh, word.
You know what
Okay.
I mean? And they're from UK. The guys who produced it. Shout out to Apex Groove.
Shout out Apex Groove. We've actually chatted quite a few times on Instagram. So
they're cool guys, man.
Shout out to them.
Those cool guys, man. They helping me with another some new music and stuff like that as we speak. You know what I'm saying? They mixing that stuff down. It's just everything about that moment. About when I first heard that beat, I knew what I wanted it to sound like, and I was like, okay. And I wrote that during pandemic times when I sent it to you.
Right.
I was like, I just knew. It just had that vibe. I was like, it fits where music was more synthy, and that's where I wanted to jump in. That's when you had like the Billie Eilish just taking off, and you had your Olivia Rodrigo's and stuff like that. I was like, how do Serge Jordan fit in right there with that melodic sound? And when I heard that beat, I'm like, this is perfect for this record. That's how that album came about. And like Full Circle was one of those standout moments from that album. And thank you for being on it.
Oh no, for sure. Like honestly, it didn't take me very long for me to record the hook for it, because I just remember, like, I think it took me like maybe 10-15 minutes max, I think. So I don't really remember much from it because it didn't take me very long. I just knew that when you sent it, I was like, okay, as long as I got the melody down for this, I'm good. Like, I got the melody down. Okay, I'm gonna send this over to you. Yeah, send this over to you, yada yada. And whenever it comes out, it comes out.
Yeah, I remember sending like those voice notes on the phone, like, hey, this is how it's gonna go. This is how it's gonna go. And like, I remember I was calling it All Eyes on Me at first. I know the beat was still called.
Yeah, that's what I remember. I remember it as All Eyes on Me. That's what I remember it as.
Yeah. Yeah, and at the end of the hook, I'm like, I know it. I wanted it to be that because I'm in Vegas, but I was like, okay, how do I do that and I still keep this beat? That Full Circle was just at the end. I'm like, you cannot hit that riff without hitting that full circle. It didn't make sense. And then when you sent it back like that, I'm like, I didn't know if he was gonna keep the full circle there, but you end up keeping it. So I'm like, that's the name of the record right there. Right. It is what it is. Might as well be. It's meant to be.
Yeah, for sure. And we collaborated on one more thing. I wrote a song during the pandemic era. It kind of defined it, actually, called Rose-Colored Lenses.
Yeah.
And that's a song that I don't have a lot of attachment to now, but I do have attachment to it because part of the proceeds went to the Colors for Change and the NAACP. So that was like one of the things that I loved the most from the record, and with the whole with all the protests happening in the world and with the pandemic going on and like not knowing when things were going to get better, what made you want to hop on that song?
Me being at work, man. I used to work overnight at the hotel that we shot Britney at. You know what I'm saying? I no longer work overnight at that hotel if I don't have to. But that's just me being there at overnight, and I'm just hearing. I'm on Instagram watching you do your thing, and I'm just listening to that riff that you Rose-Colored Lenses. When you put it up there, I was like, and I just started writing.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? That was just another me, just like, okay. I'm like, I gotta. It was one of those fan moments, you know what I'm like, how do I gotta get on the song with this guy. This guy's out here crushing it, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what he's doing with it, you know what I'm saying, or what he's doing or whatever. I just wanted to be a part of whatever he was doing. That's just me fanning out, being a fanboy, man, and I'm owning it.
And that's how I remembered you. That's how I remembered you at first. I'm not gonna lie. That's how I remembered you. And I was like, you know what, like, this dude seems like a real one, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I figure, it's like, again, it was the pandemic era, and to me it was like nothing counted anyway. So it was just like, why not make it work? And
why not try something?
Why not try it? It was a distraction from what I was working on at the time, but I mean, it's it was just like, why not make something that kind of defined the era and move forward from it, And I'm glad we were able to make that work. The only thing that pissed me off about that release was that on Spotify, it didn't identify your remix. It didn't identify as it didn't identify as its own separate song. It kind of merged into the original.
The song. Oh,
yeah, and
damn.
I was like, bro, come on. There's a rapper on it, Spotify. Come on now. And that's what kind of made me make the whole EP and just add one more song that I didn't release that year. So it was just like that remix kind of.
I think you did it. Also, I'm glad you did it because I still love that record. Like I just remember what it made me feel like in that time. I just know I was just at night, and it was a perfect tune for me to go at night. It just made me think about like old past stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I know he's singing about this, but I'm like, okay, how do I add a little bit of this just to add some light humor to it and like yeah.
No, I liked it.
Some serious vibes, yeah.
Yeah, because that song was tragic. But no, what's funny, we're talking about that whole EP because today is May 5th as we're recording this, and it's actually the 2-year anniversary of the start of it. So
wow,
like, you know, it's funny how, again, full circle. It's funny how it all comes out. And
we're gonna be talking about that for a long time. Full circle.
Yeah.
I know. I know. I'm sorry, man.
No, you good, bro.
Blame Apex Group. Don't blame me.
And no, you good, bro. You good. I've always wondered this question about like older creatives. Not saying that you're older, but like, how do you manage?
What is age, man? What is age?
What is
37.
It's true. Age is funny. It's just a concept, bro.
Yeah,
people. I'm 29. People think I still look 21. So,
see, I didn't even know you was 29, bro. So you see this? I didn't know what age. I'm not thinking about the concept. I'm not thinking about the concept.
Right. Kainalu and I are both 29, so it's
we're almost there.
But I mean, like, but age is a concept, though.
It is. I actually like myself better now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love what I've done then. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. I love everything I've done to this part, but I love this version.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So how do you manage it? Because you are, you have a significant other, and you have a kid. You're dad. Two kids, and you work and you work multiple 9-to-5s. How do you manage balancing or juggling being a dad, fiance, working several 9-to-5s and still find the energy to pursue a rap career?
At the end of the day, man, I can only think of 2 words: no excuses.
No excuses. There we go.
Yeah, like, cause I'm in control of everything that's around me. You know what I'm saying? Like, if my dreams don't go right, it's on me. If I don't spend enough time with my family, it's on me. So that's just, I'm like, you know what? When I look at it like that, it's like there's no excuse. Like I was just talking to my son on the text before this meeting, just checking up on him, make sure he ate, and stuff like that, because he stays back in St. Louis with his mom. So I was just making sure that he was good, and see what his plans are. He's very independent. He's just like me as well. So he's like, he could have been out here. He usually comes out during the summers and stuff like that and the holidays, but he's been spending more time with getting close to his mom, and I don't blame that. And then, so I just want to make sure that he's okay. And then balancing here is just, I'm like, okay, I make sure my family's with me as we did the show, the fan appreciation tour.
Yep.
They with me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's how I build it. That's why I don't do like crazy shows. Like I'm not just doing no show in no hole in the wall, but because I got my family with me most of the time.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't. Yeah.
Hey, shout out to the fam.
That's how I balance it. Yeah, that's how I balance it. I'm like, God put some great pieces in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like my wife loves photography. That helps. You know what I mean? She's a creative like me.
Yeah, no, for sure. Shout out to Maddie and Sophie, and you know what I'm saying. They ride or young Sophie. They're ride or dies for you, bro. Like that's a gift. You know what I'm saying. And how old's your son?
My son is 14.
Oh, okay, so he a teenager now.
Yeah, and Sophie is 2 years old.
Hey, shout out to the fam. That's what's up, bro. The last question that I want to ask you guys before we close is, in your life, and this has kind of been alluded to a couple of times on this podcast already, what has been the biggest full circle moment you've experienced? We'll start with Nalu, Kai first, and then.
Oh man, where can I start with this? There's a lot of moments that I know
Good
I
job.
in my life. Okay, maybe the biggest one I would say that tops everything I've done so far is going to another country around the other side of the world and knowing that it was probably one of the most dangerous places on earth, aka combat zone, aka Afghanistan.
Yeah.
That was probably the biggest full circle part of my life that I've ever did.
Yeah, that was a wild time, bro. So I still remember, because I still remember that was back in 2019 for context. And I remember when you told us that you were going, I was like, dang, hopefully we'll still be able to keep in touch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then like, no, you were texting our group chat like it was,
I know, it was like a normal day.
Like you're like nothing ever happened, you know? Oh, I was like, oh, how's Afghanistan, bro? Oh no, just another bomb in the distance, but no big deal.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, okay. I said, you saw that, Roy? Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
But the funny thing about that whole time is that it invigorated a desire to go to Korea for some reason.
It did, because I was learning Korean at the time too. It's something I wanted to go back to after deployment, even though COVID happened and traveled. But that was my motivation, and a lot of things actually came up from deployment. Started even getting back into producing music. I bought a little MIDI controller and hooked it up to my laptop and was making beats just to kind of keep my brain going and keep my sanity level kind of like up there and not going crazy. So a lot of things happen in deployment that kind of helped me stay on track.
Right.
Excellent.
No, for sure.
Come on, man. Cheers off to that, man. Cheers off to that. I love that story.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll go next. So going off of what Kainalu was talking about with like the music and stuff like that, and we actually talked about this a little bit before during like our intermission period, but so in high school I used to make music with all of the co-hosts really of this little podcast thing here, and all of us, and then like we kind of did our own thing for a while, going through life and going to school, going through our lives, our own separate lives. And then last year in 2021 I had a random FaceTime from our friend Nalu, Scott. He was hanging out with you at the store and he just FaceTimed me out of nowhere one day. It was like around this time last year, I think. And I was like, it was a Sunday, I remember, because I usually sleep right after church. And before I went to sleep, I got a FaceTime from Scott. I was like, damn, I didn't hear from this dude in like 6 years. Answer the FaceTime. I was like, oh, how's it going? And then like and then we just kind of caught up within that FaceTime and everything, and added Scott to our group chat. And then like Scott started sending beats to the group chat because I used to do music with him back in the day, back in high school. And then like I decided to write some lyrics to his beats, and I ended up showing Serge one of them like not too long ago, and and just kind of like bringing the band back together. You know what I'm saying? It's just like in a different way, it like we're still the same, but it's still, we're grown, like we're doing our own thing now. We're still making music better than ever. And another thing about May 5th is that one of my friends and Kainalu's closest friends from high school, our Hale, she ascended to the afterlife 6 years ago today. And she was like one of our biggest supporters of our music and stuff like that. And I posted something on my Instagram story just saying like, hey, Hale, I thought of you today, and I just want to let you know we got the band back together. We're making music again. We're better than we've ever been. And I know you're going to enjoy it, and it's got some surprises coming. So, you know, just the fact that we're able to bring the band back together and make music again, connecting the past, present, and the future, you know, and just having that cohesion, bringing it all together. It's like the biggest like full circle moment that I've had in a while. So stay tuned for the summer.
No, man, that's deep, man.
For some new Mars Luna tunes, you know what I'm saying? But yeah,
you definitely got to keep going, man. Like that's it's in you. It's in you. It's on. Yeah.
What about you, bro? I know that's a song, but like, what is the biggest one of yours?
No, I'll keep mine cliche, man. Like, cause I could piggyback off of that, you know, like with like different stories of that type of nature. But I'll say, Detox and Serge Jordan, man. Like I was doing earlier. Like, in the beginning when I was saying hot-headed, used to cuss all the time in my music. Fatherhood has shaped me into another stage of life where I don't cuss in my music. I'm like, okay, but I want to still keep content, you know what I mean? Like, okay, so I'm like, how do I still be me? But I'm like, I don't want my daughter to hear me, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
cussing. So you might hear me say F, but you know what F means. So
right.
Yeah. Like F that, you know what I'm saying? So like, okay, like, so, but you won't hear me saying the whole full cuss word. So that's been a full circle for me. Like just watching the growth of Serge Jordan, it's just like, okay, like look, I never thought I would be here doing no cuss word music.
Right.
Yeah. So and also drugs. I used to smoke weed a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing. Like when I moved to Vegas, I no longer smoke weed. So like I guess when it got legal, I'm like, I tried it. I was like, okay, let me just go in here and like, you know, pig out some weed. And then I was like, I don't like getting high, bro.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I'm like, I'm too paranoid. I'm like, I'm too much of a creator. It gets me too up there. I don't like being too up there where I can't come down. So that's a full circle I want to throw out to in the universe. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, if you're still struggling with drug abuse or anything like that, like, hey, music has definitely set me free from that.
Hey, that's what's up, bro.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Let's go. And by the way, I forgot to ask this earlier, but now that I remember it, you know, you have a lot of music out there right now on Spotify and Apple Music and stuff like that. You have quite a bit from like over the years. But what is your favorite record or song or album that you've put out so far?
They're all babies, man. I know that sucks. That's a harsh question. I'll say I like memories. I'll say some memories. Me versus the Universe. You talking about like a collective just record or like an album?
Yeah, either one. It don't matter.
The Me versus the Universe era was a great era for me. That was pre, you know, still finding myself. I had my own condo in St. Louis where I'm just, you know, just like, let me just still fight. And like, it's just me versus the universe. No pun intended. That's where I still want to drop a book. I still want to do a movie, Call Me versus the Universe. So that's one of those biggest concept albums that I've done to this date. And that birthed a lot of different concept albums after that, or ideas. And I'll say that one, and I'll say the one where I'm at right now, Slightly Taller in Person. What is brought in my life, the positivity, the positive message of Slightly Taller in Person has brought so much different opportunities in my life, and it's still bringing.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, cause I could have quit. I could have quit right after Don't Mean a Thing Without the Ring. But I was like, you know what? I want to keep going.
Right. I mean, everything comes back around full circle, right?
That's big fact.
That's just the way life goes.
It was that Eminem moment for me, man. I had that recovery moment when I was making Slightly Taller in Person. I was like, okay, I was like Don't Mean a Thing was my relapse, and then Slightly Taller in Person was the recovery album.
That's dope, bro.
Yeah,
I envision Mars Luna going on a similar path to the one you're going through. So, Serge, thank you so much for joining the ML Backstage podcast.
It's been a pleasure.
Glad that we were able to get you on for one. and I don't know where in the world Kainalu went, but he'll come back. He'll come back. Anyway, so we'll close this out by saying our socials. Just plug in whatever you want to plug, whether it's your website, your music, whatever.
Serge at Serge Jordan, SURGE. That's Serge like the soda. Serge like the soda. If you can't spell Serge, you know what I'm saying? Serge Jordan like Michael Jordan. I'll be in Utah June 1st. Come out and see me if you're in Utah. If this reaches Utah, if it reaches beyond Utah, come out and see me. You know what I'm saying? Like that. But
let's go. Yes, let's go. It's on. You're on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Yeah, I mean,
it's all the same handles, right? So all the same thing.
So, yeah, Serge Jordan. Just because we have to. I mean, if it wasn't for music, you wouldn't see me at all.
Nope. I'm the same. I'm the same, bro. I'm the same. I'm the same. Alex. So you can follow me on Instagram at Luna B Joshua. You can also follow Mars Luna, the music page, on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at It's Mars Luna. You can follow check out the website at itsmarsluna.com and Spotify and Apple at Mars Luna. Go check that out. Gonna be some new music all summer, so
can't wait, bro. Can't wait.
Check, and I'll just say that we're gonna keep it within the family in this one, and Kainalu knows exactly what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. So, and follow and subscribe to ML Backstage on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, wherever you listen or watch podcast episodes. So appreciate everyone listening and watching. Be on the lookout for the next episodes. So Nalu, plug in all your Instagram, all your social media, or your phone number, bro. No.
Unless they give me some money, I mean, I'll take money.
I'm a bachelor. I like long walks on the beach. I like surfing.
No, that's literally
that
him.
Literally is.
That's literally him. That you just described Kainalu in one sentence. That's it.
Yeah, you gotta
let's go.
All right, folks.
Love it.
Deal. Instagram right over here.
Oh no! Look, not the 4K Instagram.
He does this every episode. He does this every single time.
You know, Visual Aid, right?
Visual
Aid.
Yeah,
Nalumon Photography, NALUMON Photography on Instagram. And you can even follow me on Twitter, but I mostly use it for all the K-pop stuff. If you're into the K-pop side, that is one moment. Let me pull that up. I'm too lazy to explain.
Make sure I follow you.
They're right here.
Oh
yeah, that is the Twitter.
Oh, Hawaiian Oppa.
There you go.
HAWAIIANOPPA. And same on TikTok. Same at
TikTok. I have TikTok too.
Same at TikTok, except there's an underscore in between. So yeah, I'll put all those information in the show description below. But once again, thank you to everybody for watching or listening. And thank you to Serge for hopping on for this episode. Stay tuned for the next Mars Luna music coming this summer. And again, if you're in like Serge said, if you're in Utah, go check him out at the Quarters, right?
At the Quarters DLC bar, man. Yes, I'll be there June 1st, man.
June 1st.
If I ain't your favorite, I want to know why.
with his one of one hat too. So
yes.
So yeah.
I actually found the plug on these hats too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you did.
Yeah, it's the company name that's inside of that. I'll talk to you. We'll talk.
Okay.
Yeah. Go straight to the source.
But yeah, thank you guys once again. Stay tuned again for the next couple episodes and the next couple songs that are coming up from Mars Luna. So take care and see y'all next month.
Here we go again with the potential spoilers, Joshua. I've told you about this how many times?
Your music is coming out next month. How will he spoil anything by then?
I hate it when you're right, Ethan. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this episode of the ML Backstage podcast. If you liked what you heard, follow us on Spotify and Anchor, and subscribe to us on Apple and YouTube at ML Backstage. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at It's Mars Luna. You can find all my music on Spotify and Apple Music, and on my website at itsmarsluna.com. Thank you to Serge Jordan for coming on, and thank you all for listening and watching. Next month, we'll have new music, and that automatically means a new episode. Bye!